Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
He's at the 20.
They should stop this one.
What you got? Domination, snot bubbles.
He throws, complete, touchdown. They've got him again. They've got him again. Sack Crumpler, what a throw, what a hit, what a catch.
Defense is just way too much for the count.
It's caught by Alshon Jeffrey for a touchdown. He pushes, touchdown. Jalen Hurts, touchdown. A.J. Brown, a run. He's going to score.
It's a touchdown by Nick Foles.
The train is in the end zone. Touchdown.
Torrey Smith
In for the touchdown is Jeffrey in. Touchdown. Jalen Hurts.
So the Birds had their second day of OTAs yesterday, and there's a lot of news to jump into, so let's jump into it. Now, before we get into that, we have to talk about some of the guys who weren't in attendance at OTA today, and those guys were Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson, Bryce Huff, Reed Blankenship, Ben Van Sumeren, and Avery Williams. Of course, Cam Jurgens didn't participate. N'Kobe Dean and Jahai Campbell are still battling their injuries, so that was to be expected. But what I didn't expect was Adoree Jackson at OTAs getting a majority of the outside cornerback snaps opposite of Quinyon Mitchell. Kelee Ringo did get some snaps in, so we can't just say that he got all the snaps, but he got most of the snaps Adoree Jackson did, and Cooper DeJean lined up on the outside for a couple of plays in that base defense. I was actually happy to see the guys on defense practicing those peanut punches, something that we mastered in the playoffs. Zach Bond, really, he was like the king of it on the defense last season. And you'll see here Adoree Jackson wearing number 8. He'll be number 8 next season. That's very interesting to me. Taking CJ/GJ's old number, I'll be on the lookout for that. I think if Ringo can shine during camp this preseason, similar to last year, he was fighting for that starting position on the outside corner spot. But if Adoree Jackson is the answer, then I won't argue with it. But I think if Ringo can shine during camp, then he'll get his spot. He'll get his time this year, especially in the preseason this season. I just have a lot of confidence in his ability, and I hope going forward this year, he can take control of that cornerback spot. Something to definitely be on the lookout for. And the competition between Jackson and Ringo is just beginning. Now, Dallas Goedert is happy to be back with Philly in a new contract in Philadelphia. After yesterday, he expressed his feelings about remaining in Philadelphia with new money.
There was the excited of a change, seeing something different, and it just kind of went back and forth, and you tried to just kind of balance those. So the off season, I've been 7 off seasons, and this is the first time I had to deal with it, so I'm pretty lucky. But it was an interesting feeling for sure, and like I said, I'm excited that we were able to get something done, and I can come back here and a place I'm really comfortable. A lot of people, like I said, that I got a lot of love for. And
Goedert has been a godsend in Philadelphia, making huge catches and blocks and being an extremely effective pusher during the tush push. I'm just happy also to have him back, and we're most definitely better with Goedert than without him. Speaking of Goedert, Jalen Hurts was electric in practice in OTAs as he was reportedly connecting with Goedert all day in practice. I know Hurts is coming into this season with a massive momentum and motivation to get back at it this season. And Hurts is obviously coming off a Super Bowl win, but with him having a bevy of offensive weapons now and a touchdown machine in Saquon Barkley, I think Jalen Hurts is entering that phase and that prime of his career where he's just seeing it. Like those years with Brady just surgically killing defenses late in games, or Manning seeing the field at an all-time high, winning MVPs, and then always in contention, both quarterbacks, and even Roethlisberger, those years when he has an absolute beast on his feet, extending plays with his size and incredible throwing ability as well. With a bevy of receivers and a dominant defense, this is now the time. The years where they were always in contention and performing at a highest of levels. Don't get me wrong, Jalen has a long way to go before it's all over, but before we can place him among the greats, there were consecutive years in NFL where those guys were just seeing it and were literally in their greatest years of football, and they were just maximizing every single season. I think Jalen Hurts has literally entered that era in his career because now he's set with almost everything he needs to become a top quarterback in the league, which I already feel like he is. But he has a great offensive line and a great all-around offense, period, with a dominant defense and coaching staff. All of these guys, they all had these same things around them, these same factors around them that made them great. and Hurts now has everything he needs this season to basically make history in Philadelphia this season. Now, yesterday, Jaylx Hunt got a sack on Hurts during 11-on-11s, and I'm very big on Hunt, especially this upcoming season, especially where he may be asked to play an even bigger role this year. Hunt says he understands the defense a lot more after his rookie season and spoke about how he's improving on his techniques and being more technical to become a better edge rusher, and I'm overly excited to hear it.
I think this offseason I just know a lot more of what is expected of me and what to expect from tackles and different players across the league. So I just know a lot more. So I've been able to approach my game in a more professional way by figuring out, what moves I want to work on, who I should watch, what I should watch, being a lot more technical, because that's the biggest difference that I've seen is that players who are elite and good, their technicality levels are on completely different levels. So if I want to be great at this position and in this league, I got to be technical. So that's what I've really been focused on, and that's what I think has really changed between last year and this year.
Now, we already know that the Swiss Army knife Cooper DeJean was extremely versatile coming out of Iowa in college. It served the Eagles defense well playing in the slot. When we couldn't get much production from Avonte Maddox, Cooper DeJean spoke out about playing cornerback across from Quinion as Vic Fangio had him out there in base defense, a package that I think DeJean will work pretty good in. Check this out.
And what goes into preparing to play both?
Yeah, they're a little different. I did it a little bit in college, played both. But they're different. And on the inside, you got to prepare more to fit the run and be able to cover and do all those things. At corner, it's more worrying about covering a top guy, top receiver, with a lot of space. But I did a little bit in college, so I've been doing it a little bit, early on here in OTAs. So, I think just doing wherever they need me to be, is what I'll do. Right now I've been trying outside and inside, but it's definitely a tall task. Yeah, no doubt.
What was Vic's message to you about the plan?
Just saying that they were going to try me a little bit at outside when we were in base. Nothing really too crazy. That's really all he said. That I would get some reps outside during OTA, see how it looked.
Are there any specific challenges as you think about your career long term? You want that chance to play on the outside?
I mean, I'll play wherever, to be honest. Wherever they put me on the football field, I'll play there. As long as I'm out there, I'll be ready to play no matter the position, whether it's corner, nickel, or safety.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson was playing QB3, has some QB3 reps ahead of rookie Colin McCord to start. And the battle between the threes has began, as I'm on the side of McCord here to win this battle only because of the youth. And I feel like the rookie can turn some heads to solidify that spot over DTR. Bryce Huff wasn't at OTAs today, and there's essentially a clear sign that the Birds may be moving on, which should be expected. And I have no idea what's happening with Huff. And I had a huge expectation going in season 2024 season for Huff. With all of that, when it came crumbling down by week 7 or 8, and once he got injured and wasn't available for the rest of the Birds Super Bowl run, I was just ready to move on. Huff's $16 million contract has been a popular topic going into this new season, and I agree with Jeff McClain here of the Inquirer in this article saying that Huff could be released June 1st, which is probably makes the most sense, to prevent cap hits, and I really don't think Huff wants to be in Philadelphia anyway. We also had our hard-hitting rookie Drew McCouba starting at safety today in OTAs, but remember, Reed Blankenship was not in attendance, so that's probably why right there. Tanner McKee got some throws in, picking up where he left off, 14 for 18, 1 touchdown, and OTAs today. Not bad. Now, we're officially under 100 days away from the NFL season where the Birds will open, and there wasn't any OTAs or practices today, but as I've told you before, we're going to keep you updated about everything surrounding training camp and OTAs, practices, all of that. Let's get the channel to 2K subscribers for a chance for you to win Eagles tickets. You know the routine. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Everything you do is appreciated over here at the Eaglecentric. We cover all the latest Birds news over here. Be sure to subscribe so you can get to it first. Be blessed and go Birds.